Well, for once this morning, I'm doing it at this time, hoping no one's watching. Because today I want to talk about something that really makes me anxious, and maybe not in such a funny way. It makes me anxious on two fronts. So the actual subject matter itself makes me anxious, but it makes me anxious because it puts me at odds with a lot of people who I greatly admire. I'm sorry, guys. I love you as people. I think you're wonderful. But the whole vegan thing really gets to me. It makes me feel incredibly anxious. Um, and I think on two fronts. I think in terms of subject matter, I think kind of the scare tactics of the vegan movement, the kind of self-righteousness of the vegan movement, it does two things. So one, I don't really agree with it. So from a cognitive point of view, um, I am aware that shaming people, shame is a really bad strategy for change. So go read all Brene Brown's work, but you will see that there isn't much data to support the view of kind of shaming people into making a change in lifestyle. So the kind of tactics of endless Guardian-based articles on the evils of stock farming or animal farming and eating meat and stuff, it kind of offends me on an intellectual level, but also on a personal level. So it does make me feel shameful. That does not make me want to change my attitude towards eating meat and using animal products. So it doesn't work, but also why so it does make me feel ashamed. It makes me feel anxious. It makes me feel unlikable. And I guess the other part of it, I mean, just one anecdote that I want to say is, with the kind of like, let's never ever use animal products. I grew up on a stock farm, and those people who saw all the Peter stuff about how shearing sheep is so evil and stuff. I sat through many shearing sessions as a kid, helping move the animals in and out so that the shearers could, they're professional guys who come round periodically to shear the animals. They were professional. They were empathetic to animals. And what I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt is that sheep are much, much more offended by having gentian violet put on their feet to stop them getting foot rot in the marshy grounds of Yorkshire than they are about being sheared. And yeah, very occasionally a sheep did get nicked, I guess in the same way as a hairdresser could nick your ear when they were doing a shortcut, doing a short style for you. But certainly nothing like the Peter article. But anyway, I digress, because it's not actually about whether it's good or bad. It's about that the whole campaign is something that it makes me really anxious. It makes me something that makes me want to kind of stop communicating with you. And that I find really upsetting for two reasons. So the first is that generally the people who I am friends with, I kind of instinctively choose friends who are people who I admire, who I think are, really worthy people. And when you post campaigns like this, it makes me feel unworthy and ashamed, and I feel really, really anxious about that. So it's something that makes me want to kind of not be with you. I'm actually shaking my legs here because I'm quite tense about this, but it actually makes me want to stop being friends, not because I don't like you anymore, but because our interactions leave me feeling bad. And one of the things that I am really focusing on the moment is trying to focus on trying to recall what good feels like, when you have been through an event like we have been through in the last 2 years. Your sense of optimism gets bashed quite a lot. And so one of my strategies is really trying to find the things that are fun, trying to find the things that make me feel good, trying to stop doing the things that make me feel bad, because I know that where our attention goes, that's how we feel about the world. You know, you have this little piece in your brain, I think it's called your reticular activation system, and it is what we believe to be true. We automatically in our brains seek evidence to find. So I have been very, very conscious of trying to find things that are good. And it is very hard to do that at the moment. So being inundated with messages that you are somehow not worthy, that I am a bad person, you know, I feel like Goosey Lucy, the sky is falling in, and these messages of like it's falling in even more and even faster, and it's your fault because in 1976 you used a straw. Guys, it's tough. So what do I want to say? I really, really love you guys who are vegans. I really, really wish you'd stop posting all the fear tactics. But if I'm not really interacting with you at the moment, it's because it feels like I feel unworthy, I feel ashamed, I feel bad, and I'm really trying to work on trying to feel better. So I'm sorry that today isn't a fun one. I'm really, really sorry about that. Yeah, I wrote myself a note. Oh, I think I said all the things on my notes. I'm really sorry. I will find something funny to tell you about my anxiety tomorrow. You know, the thing for me, guys, is if you want to make people change, you have to make the thing that they're changing to more desirable than the thing they're changing from. Fear is a really bad strategy for change. We're seeing that in the world's political arenas. Fear doesn't work. So here's my invitation to you guys. If you want me to become a vegan, in the unlikely event that I become a vegan, it will be because vegan food is so damn delicious that it is what I want to eat, and it won't make me even fatter than I already am. See you tomorrow.